Alright, we're back. Welcome to part 2, how to build a neck through base. This is a pretty short video. This is the glue up of the neck. So in the last video we talked about how we prepped our neck blank. And I want to double check the thickness here. Perfect, that's what I wanted. It's personal preference, the thickness of the middle piece versus your outer pieces. The goal with a neck blank is to pretty much have enough width to accommodate the entire headstock and the widest part of the neck. So for me, we're right at about 115 millimeters from side to side, which is more than enough. To give you an idea, even if this was a 6-string, you can see that it's wide enough to accommodate that entire headstock. All right, so there will be some excess material cut off from this later in the game. Let's go ahead and prep the area where we're going to glue this together. First thing I'm going to do is put down some paper, because I don't want to get glue on my nice padded top here. It's about into that roll in the trash, and we'll take that like so. We're going to go ahead and get our clamps that we need for this. Nine or 10 does it. Now what I need to do is open these up before I get any glue on the wood. And we want to just prep these to where it's a quick set and torque. Let me just prep these real quick. If I had a helper in the shop, I'd have someone doing this for me. Something you'll find when you get into building is that you need to buy a lot of clamps. Unless you have something fancy like the hydraulic press or the big the balloon bladder type glue up. That's next level stuff. I'm not there yet. I'm just hand making these things in a garage, so kind of primitive in that regard, but it works. It works. Some of these were prepped. I got lucky. So the neck is looking face down, right? This is going to be the fingerboard side, face down. That's why we have a level tabletop surface to work on, because that side that's facing down is going to be what has to be very precise. So we want that sitting flat on a table. I will now open this up and we're going to apply the glue. Now if there's any dirt or residue from scraping this piece of wood over the table on the planer, I will very carefully scrape that. Let me show you what I do here. I'm the razor blade. Bear with me for one moment. Take a razor blade, very light pressure. There's that. I have a splinter in my finger that's letting me know. Be sure all the dust and immediate dirt is clear of this surface. You want this to be a very pristine surface on either side. You're going to need something to spread your glue with. If you've got old credit cards or even business cards, they work. You can buy these fancy glue spreaders, but we'll just use an old credit card. I think this was an insurance card with some company that, well, we won't go there. Insurance, that's a hairy subject. All right. Remember, this is all about base, not about anything else. It's good to get the glue residue off whatever it is you're going to use to spread it with. So just take a razor blade and scrape. You have a nice smooth surface to deal with. Something you're going to find is that a lot of building is all in prep work. It's all in the prep work. Every step is setting up the step and 2 and 3 steps after. All right. For this, I use Titebond Premium. This is a water-resistant interior extra. This is Titebond 2, the blue label. I've used the red label. There's a lot of different things you can use for glue. Do not use CA glue. Don't use Elmer's. Just get some Titebond. Some people use epoxy. I don't have any experience using epoxy for gluing up necks and bodies, so you'll want to do your research on those before you try your hand at them. Alright, we're just going to put some glue on. And then we spread. You want to do your best to cover up all of the surface area of that inside joint. You don't want to put on a whole ton of glue, just enough to cover the surface area. You don't want to put too little glue either. You want to be sure that it actually can cover the whole surface area. If it's too thin in spots, just go back and reapply some and spread it. All right. Line these up. I'm going to put some clamps on either end, like so. These are just little spring clamps. And then 2 down on this end. It's nice to have your clamps handy in the location where you need them quickly. All right. The first place I like to tack is right where the nut is going to be. So that's what I'm zooming in on here. Light pressure, just a tack. We're not torquing down yet. And then I'm going to clamp a light tack on the very end of the headstock. And then we're going to come down to the butt end and tack that. This is just holding things in place. Just light pressure. Now we're going to go to the middle. Moderate pressure. We're going to go here. And then we're going to bounce back the other way. We're working our way out from the middle. Just light pressure. We're basically tacking at this point. And you can see how quickly I can get the pressure because I prepped my clamps. Sorry. And then back over here. You want your clamps spread about 6 to 8 inches apart. That's an adequate amount of space to where they're close enough, you're getting good equal pressure, they're not too far away that you're leaving areas out. And then one in the middle of the headstock. And then we're going to go through and start cinching them all down nice and tight. Let's flip this over and have a look. That paper will curl up. There we have it. Toss that paper. Have a look. Let's flip this around. See the little beads? That's what you want. That's a sign of good squeeze out. All right. So I mentioned about this not being perfect. There's a little bit of a ridge here, and that's okay because that's going to get leveled down. Tomorrow, when I unclamp this, I'm going to run it over the jointer and I'm going to level this whole top surface, and it'll be like that ridge was never there. So something really important to keep in mind is when you're pre-cutting the cross sections of your neck blank, you want to cut things a little big. You can always remove material, but you can't put it back. So it's always good to cut a little large and then size it down from there. You're sculpting. All right, thanks for watching. This has been part 2 of how to build a neck through base. I'll be back with you tomorrow for more. Thanks for watching.